all their dicks are gonna fall off their body when I'm done.
He's such a good man, like, and you're not letting him live up to his potential.
What's going on YouTube? I'm about to get on the biggest podcast I've ever been on, Mr. Ryan Pinedas. Sit back, relax, enjoy the episode. Let's go. I want to have a conversation with you guys about the power of proximity, okay? A year and a half ago, Kirsten and I got an opportunity to go speak at FitCon. It was like FitCon Florida. And when I went to speak at FitCon Florida, you know, I knew a guy that was basically the COO of the event, and he invited me to come speak. I wasn't getting paid for it. It was just an opportunity to be on stage. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it. It's the first time I've spoken on stage about something outside of my niche, so I was like, I'll take it. I went down there, didn't get paid, spoke for free. They told me they were having another FitCon in Utah, but this FitCon was gonna have like 3 or 4 times the amount of people. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. So I went, I met the muscle in person, shook his hand. This was the second time I'd met him in person. And at that event, he told me that he was having a big event called the Limitless Arena, and he was gonna get some of the biggest players in the game, like David Goggins, Andy Frisella, Ed Milet, etc. I was like, I would be a great MC, like give me the opportunity. So he gave me the opportunity to be an MC at the event. So because I put myself in the first room, I got the second room. Because I put myself in the second room, I got the third room. Because I put myself in the third room, I got the opportunity. So when I got the opportunity, I networked, I connected, I met the guy, Ryan Pinedas. I've been following him on social media for a while. And I sat down and I was like, dude, I love your fucking content. Like, you're the reason that I dyed my hair blonde. And me and him had a deep conversation, and I was like, if I'm ever, in and around your area, I'd love to do a podcast with you. He was like, yep. So a couple months later, Ryan invited me to come speak at WealthCon, which I'm doing tomorrow, and you guys are gonna see that vlog. But he also texted me 3 days ago, and he's like, do you wanna be on the podcast? So because I put myself in the first room, I got the second room. Because I got the second room, I got the third room. Because I got the third room, I got the opportunity. Because I got the opportunity, I got to meet Ryan Pinedas, and now I'm about to speak on the biggest podcast I've ever spoken on. You have to put yourself in the fucking room. And you can't expect anything from it. Because the first 1, 2, 3, 4 events you go to, you might not get shit. And like the first few events that Kirsten and I went to for Taki's events, like we were nobodies. But I just kept putting myself in the room, kept putting myself in the room, kept putting myself in the room, kept putting myself in the room. And eventually I became a character that had value that I could give to other people. So if you keep showing up and you keep putting yourself in the room, good shit's gonna happen, and I'm excited for you guys to watch this podcast. It's all good.
Do you work here?
I'm Brian, no. I'm speaking tomorrow.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be gone tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So it's a good thing I'm talking to you right
yes.
now, so I can hear what you're gonna be speaking about.
Cool.
Maybe.
Social media.
Social media?
Social media, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The
greatest
of all time.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
I want to see you speak. You exude so much, just exude a lot of charisma.
Thank you.
And I feel like there's probably a lot of wisdom here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I could be probably learning.
Thank you.
And I mean, you already have a...
I received that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. I just had an immense amount of respect for him because he's just standing there, just going fucking hard. He's been going hard for 20 minutes. He's been on stage for the whole day. So I just I'm gonna pour into his audience and I'm gonna give them a fuckload of value. He's still going. And then he's gonna come from there right to here. All their dicks are gonna fall off their body when I'm done.
Dude, appreciate you. I've been slammed.
Dude, you're good. You're good. How are you?
Good, man.
You're good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro.
Appreciate you showing out, man.
Of course, man.
I met a couple of your people. I actually prayed for Mel.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah, one of the things about my community is they're so loyal and they're so kind and considerate and compassionate. Yeah. I heard you talk about culture the other day. That's in our ecosystem. Yeah. Anybody is a bad client or they say negative things in their group, they just get kicked out instantly. That's the culture and that's the community we have. So the community is very tight knit. Yeah.
I can see it. So, dude, tell me how you got started in this game, man. How do you do $8.5 million? How'd it go?
In 2018, I realized, man, I've helped so many trainers get to 5 to 10K a month. Why don't I just make a business out of this? So since 2018, I've just been mentoring personal trainers, and we've worked with over 5,000 online coaches now. 300 of our students hit over $10,000 a month. We've got 50 students here to show up for WealthCon. So that's how it all began, brother.
Bro, that's amazing.
When I first started following you, you had 110,000 Instagram followers, and I just looked the other day. I'm like, you have 402 now. So you're process for expansion is just absolutely rapid.
Yeah.
And it's cool to watch your evolution too, because when I first started following you, it was just real estate.
Yeah.
You were just a real estate guy.
Yep.
And now it seems like you're branching out into other niches and you're starting to like really expand your message. So
Yep.
I can see it in you too, like that process of expansion. It's cool. And I do look up to guys like Andy Frisella, Ed Mylett, Gary Vaynerchuk. But then I think to myself, like Gary V, when he was 30, like he was just getting started.
He was just starting to sell wine.
That's it, right? He was just getting started. So I think like guys like us, like I think personal brand, bro, is the number one thing that will separate you from everybody else. And I started going really, really hard on my personal brand because of my business partner. He's been, he does like, he'll do a filming session where he'll film like 30 to 40 to 50 reels at once. He's crazy. I've watched him grow his social media following to 1.7 million over the course of the last couple of years. And seeing that in front of me, I was like,
Why weren't you doing it though? I mean, you had a guy doing it, obviously, I'm sure it was bringing in revenue and you could see it. So why didn't you take it seriously earlier?
I think I had a big ego. Yeah, I think I had a big ego. I think that I thought that my content was good. I thought my content was really good.
You're like, why am I not growing? My content's way better than
That's exactly it. And it's almost like this like delusions of grandeur. Like, you're not willing to look at yourself for what it actually is.
Right.
But I started working with this guy named Devin. Me and you both know Devin.
I invited him to welcome.
He's the only guy that's ever looked at my content that he's like, this is absolutely trash. so having somebody, and he's 19 years old, so having somebody be able to look at my content and say that, like, started to actually get me to look at my own content and be like, maybe I need to work on this.
You can learn from everybody. It's not just one way or the highway, right? Because I like hearing philosophies from guys like him, guys like, my other friend Ryan McGinn, guys like Gary Vee, and so. No one guy is right. They all have different things that work for them, and they will tell you what works for them.
Yep.
But you are unique in your own way. You got your own business. You got different priorities. I tell people all the time with content, it's not even about the number of followers or views. That's the dumbest thing that you could measure. Because would you rather have 1 million views of you doing a prank video or 10,000 views of you talking about your actual business that's attracting the people that want to buy from you?
Yep.
Give me the 10,000 people all day.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people, because they're chasing the views, they never actually learn how to use their voice and like what they want to communicate with the world. And everybody's always chasing like what's viral or what this guy's doing or what that guy's doing. Yep. And I think a lot of people, it comes down to like a fear of judgment. Like I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid of putting myself out there and having somebody say something negative about me. And I think that's another thing that held me back too, because I'd put out content on social media, and then when I'd get a hater comment, I'd get like reactive, and I'm like, I'd want to respond to them.
Like a big buff bodybuilder.
Like, you're wrong.
Meet
okay.
me in the DMs.
Yeah, meet me in the DMs. Exactly. Yeah, but I think it's like the longer that you're chasing, somebody else's voice, and that you're not spending figuring out what your core message is, what you want to share with the world. And I think, when it comes to branding, consistency is always number one.
Yeah.
Consistency is number one, consistency then quality. Right. But so many people are like, I want to figure out how to go viral, or I want to figure out the best strategy, or I want to figure out this. It's like, get consistent first, post 7 days a week, 365 days. Out of those days, you're going to find some videos that performed well, figure out why they performed well, start doubling down on that and get better over time. Yeah. So many people are afraid if they talk about something that they actually like, and then somebody makes fun of them, they're like, oh my God, like, then it hurts even more.
One thing you told me in Utah that I found really interesting was you were like, dude, I've been doing a podcast every day for like many years. And it was like multiple times a day or something crazy.
Yep.
And you're like, I filmed this many episodes.
Yep.
And I just stayed with it. And that's how you built the community. Talk
Yep.
about that.
So, Change Lives, Make Money on the Internet podcast. We've got, it's about 997 episodes to this point. We're almost at 1,000. And that's how I built the business. I think at first, I'd go live on Facebook, go live on Instagram. I'd be recording my podcast. I'd have 2 to 3 people tuning in. But that was the start, right? And I just wanted to have something that was going to separate me from everybody else. And I knew that if I put in an obnoxious amount of work over an extended period of time, that I could do that. And so every single day at 10 a.m. PST, I'd go live with my podcast, and I would have something to talk about to give value to my audience. It's like, no matter what you want to do in life, like, you have to become the person that's actually ready to receive that opportunity before you'll get it. And I think that honestly, like, I learned a lot more from my failures than I do my successes. Like, success feels good, don't get me wrong. But when I fail, I'm like, ouch, that hurts. I will never do that again.
Yeah.
Then you just get better and better over time. So yeah, I think it's just reps,
I agree.
reps,
Yeah.
and reps. And it's the same thing with my social media, dude. Like, if you scroll way back on my feed, like you'll see some pretty cringy videos. Let's just say some pretty cringy
I tell that
videos.
to people all the time. I'm like, if you're able to fit, like, get all the way to the bottom of my TikTok. That was 2020. You know, so I've been a TikToker for almost 4 years now.
That is crazy. That's how you blew up, eh?
Yeah, that's sad.
I followed you before you had your podcast. I followed you before you had your podcast.
Yeah, I did TikTok. And, you know, it was one thing, right? Like, TikTok in 2020, nobody really knew what it was or how to use it.
Yeah.
Definitely not entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs were not. It was people dancing.
Yeah.
So I was telling them, like, if you scroll to the, like, very bottom of my TikTok, you will see my dance video.
Tell me, oh my God.
Yeah,
You danced. You danced.
That's what TikTok was. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess it's a dance thing.
Bro, you need to play that on stage.
Bro, I should.
You need to play that on
I can
stage.
get there. Like, it's just, there's thousands of videos. Like, if anyone's willing to do it, you'll find it. Delete it.
Yeah. That is funny, bro. Dude, it got to the point where I had such a loyal following that when, because on the Protein CEO, it's still TikTok, still a thing. I had such a loyal following that my girl would make a post on social media and my followers would go to her page because she'd be angry at me in my videos and they'd be like, you don't deserve the Protein CEO. Like, he's such a good man, like, and you're not letting him live up to his potential.
So much more.
It's so funny, dude.
You can handle 500 grams of protein. You only let him have 250.
Oh shit. It was good.
Did that get?
Dude, 100, I had like 110, 120,000. Yeah, it was wild.
You were just throwing eggs at your face?
That was it, bro. I just made a following out of it. Yeah.
Dude, I'm just grateful, like I said, to get to know you better, man, and to for your support and you know, just to bounce ideas. And obviously, it's just the start of something big. And I think you're going to continue to grow. And I think we're going to do some awesome things together as kind of like the next wave of you know, these guys and stuff. So
I agree, bro. It's cool to see that you're 34.
Yeah.
Because we're on the come up right now.
That's the goal.
It's only the beginning, and I appreciate the opportunity. I'm not going to take it lightly. I got tomorrow on stage, so I'm going to show up for your audience. I'm excited.
I love it. Good job, bro.
That was fire. Thank you. Again,
you,
dude. So much respect. The fact that you're just going back to back to back to back.
Ever done.
What's that?
That was my favorite podcast you've ever done.
Really?
That was freaking hilarious. The video was so bad because I was laughing so hard. Yeah.
You guys doing your penthouse tonight too?
Tomorrow's the penthouse. Yeah,
Okay, sweet.
after my speech.
Yeah, we got our penthouse tonight, so love for you to come by.
Okay.
Jonathan should be able to. You got Jonathan.
Yeah, I'll text Jonathan.
Yeah. So he'll send you info.
Okay.
Cool.
Dude,
All right,
thank
bro.
you again.
Appreciate
That was awesome.
you.
I appreciate you. So I was in the moment, and I was just immersed. I didn't have time to think or operate. I was just like fully present, 100% there. I didn't know what. I should have asked him what camera to look at first. I was like, do I look at this camera or this camera? I'm like, I don't fucking know. So I was just looking at Ryan the whole fucking time. Whatever. I was gonna ask him before, and then he'd already started the podcast. I was like, fuck. Whatever. Anyways, how did I do?
So I was just saying, like, that was one of my favorite podcasts. There's like one that you did with Nico, Coco, and Medina that I also loved. One of my favorite podcasts of all time because, like, I've seen the Protein CEO Brian, not a fan of the eggs and protein all over the house. I've seen the business Brian, and I feel like how Brian shows up like now is so authentically Brian, and he's so natural, he's so good on camera. I loved how you talked about your come up on social media, and then you talked about, this is what I was gonna say, he talked about his podcast, and I'm gonna cry because it was so cute, because he started his podcast in our 600 square foot freaking condo, and then it like brought me back, and I'm like, holy fuck, you've come so far, like that's so cool. So I was like fully immersed. I've been having some like just business things lately, and I did not think about my business once. I was like laughing and just so proud of you.
Thanks, babe.
I'm so proud of you.
He sees it too. He's like, you're on the come up.
He is, and it's like, I think one of the coolest parts about someone being on the come up is seeing them, seeing them when they're not on the come up, seeing Brian like post 5 times a week when his content was absolutely flopping, seeing him so angry at me when I get a viral post, he's like, ugh, and then just seeing him like, okay, no, like we're a team. And then now it's like his content is hitting, his business is thriving, like best shape you've ever been. But like I met this boy and like now I'm with this man, and it's just like I could go on for hours, but I'll
I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Funny story, I'm actually I woke up this morning like congested, throat, nose, everything. So I've been chugging Dayquil and napping all day, saving up for this fucking moment. And we crushed it. Peace.